So, in this video, we're going to be talking about 6 ways in which we can increase the well-being that we experience in our lives. Now, normally my content is around, vegan lifestyle, fitness. However, this is going to be more self-help, more ways and strategies to increase the happiness in our lives. So, if that sounds interesting to you, stay tuned. Now, I have a background in psychology. I studied psychology for 3 years here in Ireland, and my dissertation was on happiness. Now, I've done an 8-week happiness course with Action for Happiness. Really, really good organization. I recommend checking them out. And I've watched tons and tons of lectures online, positive psychology, etc. So without further ado, I'm going to distill the 6 principles and the 6 main things that resonated from a 2-hour positive psychology talk. I will leave that in the description section below if you want to see the 2-hour video. So, the first principle is giving yourself permission to be human. And what this means is that at times things are going to be great, and then other times things aren't going to go so well. Life is up and down. Sometimes things are just, your emotions, you're feeling good and life is awesome. Then sometimes it's not, you're down, etc. Recognize that you are freaking human. This is a natural thing. The only 2 people that don't experience this are people who are dead, which is, yay, good, you're alive, and people who are psychopaths. So you're doing pretty good. Recognize that if you're going through tough times, they won't last. And if things are really, really good for you, recognize that challenges are on the way. But that's okay. That is life. That is life. You're here to experience, right? You're here to experience. So, the second principle is declutter your life. Declutter your life. Now, we've all had this experience. You come home, you go into your room, it's messy, and you're like, ah! And then you clean it, and all of a sudden, this mental clarity just comes over you. Let me just focus the camera. The mental clarity just comes over you, and you're just like, holy crap, was my messy room doing that? Now, imagine that, but for your life. Sometimes we get overworked, we're taking on too much, we've got too many things on our to-do list. We've just said yes to too many things. And the solution to greater well-being is just to say no. Say no. Sometimes saying no to things is saying yes to yourself. And a good exercise we could do is every day write down one thing that you won't do. And what this will do is get you clearer on the things that matter most to you. Get you clear on your priorities. So, second principle is declutter your life. Third principle is cultivate a life of both meaning and pleasure. Okay? Some people will say, only go for meaning, no pleasure, no pleasure. And some people will say, pleasure, I want to focus on just pleasure, things that make me feel good. No, I don't want to look at the bigger picture. However, we can combine both. They both have their place. Okay? So, things that give you pleasure, positive emotions, you feel good, they have their place, and the greater aspect of life and having a greater purpose, that has its place too. Or once you combine them both, that is called self-concordant goals. Okay, self-concordant goals. And self-concordant goals are goals that are in line with your values. So, what do I value? I value things like health, fitness, social skills, music, psychology, vegan lifestyle. I don't like seeing animals get hurt. So my goals are going to be in line with those things. And that's why this channel has been in line with that. That's why you see me doing what I eat in a day, vegan videos. You see me doing challenges where I'm walking 20,000 steps a day, or social challenges where I'm going out every day working on my social skills. So find goals and do things that are in line with your values. What do you value? And if you don't know, just look back in your life and think about all the times that you've been excited and things that have piqued your interests, and follow the path. Follow the path, okay? And remember that when it comes to meaning, there's a man by the name Viktor Frankl, who is a Holocaust survivor. He wrote a book. I haven't read it, but this quote I found from him, and he says, "The last human freedom is the ability to choose your attitude to whatever circumstance you have been presented with." And what I got from that is that by having a larger vision, a larger meaning in life, it will give us the strength to be able to overcome the toughest times, the greatest adversities. By having a larger vision, will give us the greater willpower to be able to stick to it, and give us greater zest to be able to stay put when everyone else is giving up. Meaning. So the next principle is surround yourself with people who are healthy for you. What I mean by this is all about the ratio. This book and this course of studies has shown that stable relationships tend to have good ratios in terms of more positive occurrences or happenings than the negative. Positive occurrences being things like praise, what's up, appreciation. I really like this about you, and I'm really grateful that you do this, etc. Support, you're looking out for each other. And the negative aspect is like complaints and disagreement, negativity and bitterness and arguments and hatred and gossip. And I'm sure there's a huge list, but you get the drift. It's not about, if there's any bit of conflict in the relationship, I'm done. It's not that. It's just the ratios. Because sometimes conflicts can actually enable us to understand someone else's point of view. And by overcoming that conflict, resolving that conflict, you come back stronger. So you want to establish relationships that have about a 5-to-1 ratio, positive to negative. However, this talk that I watched on positive psychology says just more positive than negative. That is the main thing. Because if it's like 5-to-1 negative to positive, now you can see how things can be quite unstable and how that can affect your well-being. So, the next principle is develop mind-body activities in your life. And this will increase your well-being. Things like exercise, things like yoga, things like healthy eating. These are going to increase the well-being for a variety of reasons. Like let's take exercise. Exercise is natural. And what I mean by that is that if we were in nature right now, simply just to get food, water, shelter, we have to move our bodies. We have to move our bodies. And when we move our body, we release endorphins. And endorphins make us feel good. So by not exercising, you're missing out. You're missing out on these feel-good hormones, man. You're missing out. So one of the activities I love to do, I love to run. I love to as of recently, because I've taken some time off running, power walk, cycle, yoga, dancing. Those are the things that I love doing, love moving my body. But you find what you enjoy. And I recommend just do something. Because you're missing out on endorphins, bruh. So the next one is in relation to the mind-body exercises, things like mindfulness and yoga. Now, and think about anxiety. Everybody experiences anxiety at some point. And remember, you're human. You're human. You're human. Give yourself that. And mindfulness and yoga has been shown to reduce anxiety. So out of all the reasons to get into mindfulness, there are loads of health benefits, but for me that resonates a lot. Reducing anxiety is a big reason of why I do yoga and mindfulness. I just feel greater senses of peace and calm, and just more at ease with life. So that's another way mind body exercises can increase your well-being. And last is healthy eating. You want to avoid debilitating diseases. And if you have or in a situation where you're in the midst of it, you want to eat in a way that gives you the best chances of either reversing it or gaining better control of it. Because there's if you are going through tough times, why make it worse? Why make it worse for yourself? So loading up on fruits, vegetables, berries, beans, whole grains, whole food plant-based diet, thousands of studies. Thousands. I don't know if there's thousands, but so many studies. Look at nutritionfact.org. Look at the works of the Adventists, the Blue Zones. Plant-based diet is where it's at in terms of nutrition. Food is mood. Eat well to feel well. And the sixth principle is focus on positive. Focus on the positive. And 95% of your life can be going well. You have your legs, you have your arms, you have your eyes. You can see. You have food, you have water, you have shelter. You're surrounded by people that care about you. And yet we focus on the 5% in our life that's not going well. And what this principle is saying is give attention to what is going right in your life. Gratitude. Being grateful for what you have. And if you think about this really, if you're not grateful, think about this. If you're not grateful for what you already have, what makes you think getting more stuff will make you happy? Because it won't. So this has been studied as well in psychology, positive psychology. This is one of the principles Sean Anker mentions in his talk, Happiness Advantage. And the studies that have been done on this have taken a large group of individuals and split them into different groups. One group, at the end of the day, writes down 3 things they're grateful for. Another group writes down things that they feel superior about. Another group write down things that they hate. It's a very random study, but what the study showed was that over a couple of months, the group that wrote what they were grateful for had greater overall life satisfaction. And what we know in psychology is that when you write down something, it's known as a psychoneuromotor function, as in you're physically doing it, you see it, and you sub-vocalize it, the same way you sub-vocalize things when you're reading it. So that leaves a greater impression on the brain. And what will start to happen is you will start to scan your environment for things you're grateful for, even when you're not writing them down. And this is what happened to me. Bear in mind that this is a discipline. Sometimes you might fall off the wagon, but get back on the wagon. It's worth it. This is your well-being we're talking about. Remember, 95% of your life can be going well, but we have a tendency as human beings to focus on the things that are not. So, from the top, give yourself permission to be human. Declutter your life. Cultivate meaning and pleasure in your life. Cultivate healthy relationships. Find some mind-body exercises that you're into. And focus on gratitude. Thank you very much for watching this video. Let me know, do you like this style of video where I'm talking about psychology, happiness? If so, give this video a like, share this video to anyone you feel may benefit from hearing these words. As always, peace, love, veganism. I hope you guys have an awesome, awesome day. I am out. Dab. Dab for happiness. Dab for happiness.